Have you ever wondered what happens to your cell phone when you throw it out after buying a new one? Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Well, if you have not given any thoughts about it, then I hope my speech will be at least a little informative. Today, I am going to speak about e-waste management. What is e-waste? E-waste are the discarded electrical and electronic devices. It can be your cell phone, your computer, your TV, your anything. So, a study shows that almost 50 million tons of e-waste are being generated all over the world in a year, and it's increasing. India itself discarded almost 10 million computers and 50 million mobile phones in the previous year. What happens to this? What is its destiny? Pollution Control Board says that only 10 to 15% of this e-waste end up in proper recycling, and the rest of them will go to landfills and incinerators. So let's first see what is the importance of e-waste management. Why we need it? So as I said before, almost 80% of this e-waste end up in informal processing. Informal in the sense not employing proper recycling techniques. People who involved in this normally get these electronic devices, beat them into pieces, and then burn them in open acid baths, which releases toxins like dioxides, bromides, lead, mercury in the atmosphere. These are very dangerous to the atmosphere. In addition, people who work here have a very less protective environment. They are exposed to hazardous chemicals which can lead to physical injuries. For example, if exposed to mercury, it can lead to brain and kidney damage, and being exposed to PFAS can lead to hormonal dysfunctions, asthma, etc. In addition, these e-waste toxins can lead to soil and water contamination. So these are the ill effects of e-waste. So now, what is the role of India in this e-waste management? Where are we heading? A study shows that India has become a e-waste dump-yard of Asia. India has been importing tons and tons of e-waste from developed countries. India is now confronted with e-waste problem which is locally generated as well as internationally imported. It is a very lucrative business, so many businessmen are involved in this. Although Indian Supreme Court has banned the import of these toxins in 1997, almost 600 tons of e-waste have been imported to India in the past 6 months. Imagine what is happening. This is not just the plight of India. Almost all developing countries are facing this problem. US alone have been exporting 80% of its e-waste to India, Pakistan and China. Although our Indian government is denying the charge that India is importing this e-waste, India has been importing it. It's quite clear that the businessmen and recyclers have been exploiting the legal loopholes and have been taking advantage of this profitable business. So you might be curious now about how this e-waste is being processed in our informal sector. There are many informal sectors, e-waste processing cycles in cities like Delhi, Meerut, Firozabad, Mumbai, etc. Normally, there are almost 80,000 people who have been working in these recyclers. In Delhi itself, there are almost 25,000 people who are working. So, normally, people get this e-waste like television, your monitor, PCB boards, etc. They crash them in pieces and then they burn it in open parts. Even after putting so much of effort, they are risking their health. Normally, people keep their hands in hazardous chemicals for long hours. They are exposed to the fumes of concentrated acids. And protective gears like gloves, facial masks, ventilations are almost unheard. Almost all the people, including the children who are involved in this, have little knowledge about what they are handling. So, ironically, even after all these efforts, whatever metals that they get out of it is fraction of milligrams. At the end of the day, when they sell these metals like copper or whatever they have extracted, they earn almost 100 to 200 rupees, because of which they are risking their health. Because of the lack of knowledge and awareness and lack of technical expertise, people have been risking their health. At some point of time, they reach a stage where they will no longer be able to earn. Unfortunately, India doesn't have any count of the number of people who are dying because of the ill effects of this e-waste. So, now how can we tackle this problem? Is there any solution? The major hurdle for tackling this problem is the informal sector, which has grown such huge. The Indian government is trying to take up many steps. They have been passing bills in order to regulate the e-waste management. The bill suggests that only large companies and recyclers can involve in this recycling of e-waste. However, it is in vain. It's almost impossible because the informal sector has already established a cheapest way of collection, recycling and disposal of this e-waste. So people will opt for it. For example, the rag pickers will come to your home, they pick your e-waste and they pay for it. Unfortunately, the Indian consumers are used to getting paid for their e-waste, because of which it's a really big problem for the government to tackle this problem. One solution would be building a bridge between the informal and formal sector. For example, we can allow the informal sector to still collect the e-waste for the people, but then they can sell it to the formal sector where this e-waste can be recycled properly. So in this way, we can at least try to reduce the effects of this e-waste toxins. Altogether, almost all developing countries are facing this problem. Due to the increase in the usage of electronic devices and decrease in the lifetime of these devices, the e-waste problem will get worse before it gets better.